I'm very pleased to introduce today's third demo of the day with coaching.com. Unlock Coaching Success, the missing ingredient revealed. We have Rosette Cataldo, Chief Revenue Officer, and Joe Smart, Customer Success Manager, here to walk us through this next demo. And Kristen Nolan is in the chat offering resources and answering questions. So Rosette and Joe, I am going to pass it over to you to take us away.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Greatly appreciated. Let me get the share screen. Can you see my screen A-okay?
Yes, we can see it.
Awesome. And you can hear me. Well, hello, everybody. Once again, my name is Rosette Cataldo. I have the privilege of being part of the coaching.com team. And I am joined with two amazing colleagues today, Joe and Kristen. And today we are going to walk you through a little bit about coaching.com, the why people partner with us, and of course, a demonstration. But before we do, we are a culture of gratitude. So we want to start with a thank you. There are the beautiful pictures of Kristen and Joe up there. Please take a moment to link in us with those QR codes. And I want to pause and say thank you to our friends at ATD. I want to say thank you to Jess and Joy, to my colleagues, Fraser and the entire marketing team, and to our awesome client, Right Management, who's given us permission today to use their branding in the demonstration because we wanted to give you a real life example of a day in the life of who we serve and what we do. So let's begin because I only have 5 minutes. So back to who we are and what do we serve? We are in we are in the business of harnessing the power of coaching to activate human potential worldwide. When I say that, I get chills. And we do that by providing systems to help you with the delivery and to assist with coaches becoming and managers more masterful in the delivery of coaching or coaching skills. So we serve providers of coaching, we serve enterprises, and we serve solo coach practitioners. So here's my question to you, and I'd love you to go in the chat right now. Now that you know who we are, we'd love to know who you are. I'm dialing in from Boston. I'd love to know where you're calling from and who you are. Are you a coach? Are you an HR leader? Are you a manager? Do you work for a coaching company? Do you own a coaching practice internally? Tell us a little bit about you so we can serve you better. And please put that into the chat. And speaking of chat, I want to make sure everyone knows that there will be opportunity for Q&A, but we know this is a very tight session. So Kristen is there answering questions in the Q&A, and she's going to be helping us along. And I want to thank everyone who's saying hello. We've got someone from South Carolina. We have someone from California, Change Management. We have someone from San Jose. Thank you so much. Isn't this more fun when you learn a little bit about each other? Thank you so much for joining us. Let's dive in because I want to make sure we give Joe plenty of time. All right, where did my cursor go? Let's get the slide moving. One moment, please. Here we go. There we go. Awesome. So speaking of company, I mentioned Right Management. They've given us the opportunity to use their logo today as a client of ours, one of our amazing clients. But these are the people we serve. We serve enterprises like State Farm or Dropbox or Salesforce or EY, or providers of coaching like Right Management or Hogan or Halt EF. So we have great clients around the world, and we always welcome coaching companies and coaches and HR professionals to join our ecosystem, to use our coaching enablement platform. But I bet you're sitting there and saying, what is a coaching enablement platform? I haven't heard that word before, Rosette. So in the world of coaching.com, we have 3 major pillars, and I'm going to introduce this to you quickly. The number one is the coaching management system, and we're going to get into that in a moment with the demonstration. But think about it as the operating system to help you run your coaching practice, whether that's your individual coaching practice, whether you are sitting at an organization and you have external providers or internal coaches that maybe are employees that are doing Job Plus, or maybe you are a provider of coaching like Right Management that has clients, multiple clients. We help you operationalize your practice with our software. But we also have a component called Coaching Center of Excellence. So where coaching management system was about engaging, the coaching center of excellence is about educating coaches to become better, educating HR professionals who want to learn the skill of coaching. That's what we do at the center of excellence. And then we have a coaching marketplace. Think about that as expanding the practice, expanding where coaches or coaching companies can put their listing, almost like a job board, or where people can go to find coaches in our marketplace. But if you think about the coaching management software, and Joe, I'm going to be coming over to you in a moment, I want you to pause and think about all that needs to get done when you operate or run a coaching practice. Whether you're a director of operations for a company like Holt or Right Management, or whether you are like Scott at State Farm, who is there running an internal coaching practice, or whether you're like a solopreneur who has a coaching practice, you need to be thinking about lots of different things: data, coordination of schedules, coordination of people. And that's what we do. We create simplicity. So if you look at this slide, I bet you can resonate that there are many balls you have to juggle every day. Everything from coordinating coaches, matching them with coachees, making sure that schedules are happening, sessions are happening, who's on first, who showed up, is it one-on-one coaching, is it group coaching? All of that can be consolidated in our coaching management platform. And what we're going to do today is I'm going to ask Joe to walk us through. And Joe, please feel free to put up that slide of who you're going to walk us through, because Joe's going to paint a picture of a day in the life. And once again, he's sharing one little example of one-on-one coaching using one of our clients, Right Management, but I want to make sure I highlight that you can use this tool also for group coaching. So Joe, I'll come back at the end. You take it away, and thank you, my friend, for joining me.
Okay, perfect. Thanks very much, Rose. So you should all be able to see my screen now. And firstly, hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world, whatever time it is that you're watching this. I'm Joe. I'm a customer success manager at coaching.com. I'm based in Plymouth in the southwest of the UK. If anybody happens to be in the UK, I didn't see any in the chat, do put your name in. If you're around my way, I'd love to connect for a real coffee. Anybody else would love to connect for a virtual one. So please do feel free to send me an invitation on LinkedIn. Now, what is my role? I work with a large number of the enterprises and coaching providers that Rosette mentioned to get them comfortable with the system and make sure that they kind of maximize the benefit of the coaching management software. I'm here to show you a piece of that today. I'm very excited to walk you through the platform and show you how we can start to streamline some of your programs, and to follow on from Rose's point, make the complex simple. So there are three personas on your screen. There are two in particular that we're going to focus on today. We're going to focus on Aaron, the admin, and then Chris, who is the coachee. What I'm going to take you through is kind of a day in the life of both of these people on the system, show you what their experience is, the things they can interact with, and why it works for them and for my clients. We're going to start with Chris as the coachee. He is part of an external company to Right Management called Bluebird. Right Management are providing the coaching and facilitating his experience on coaching.com. I'm going to give you very shortly a first-hand look at our coach matching process, by which the coachee will come into the system and select a coach. So what is the first step in this process? The first step in the process is for Chris to come into the coaching.com platform and start to explore the coaches that he's been served up by Right Management. Step one in that process is an email goes out to Chris looking something like this that says, please come into the platform, create an account, come and find your coaches. So it's as simple as clicking one button. They click this, they jump into the platform, and their landing page is this. Now, this is our coach matching page. Chris's job here is to find and select a coach that works for him. This particular engagement is focused on career transition. It's a career transitions program. As I show you this, I'd encourage you to think about whatever your current coach matching process looks like. How do you ensure that the coachee picks the coach that is best for their needs, and how are you tracking all of that information? For a lot of my clients, before they came to us, the coach matching process was something that was very time-consuming and difficult to stay on top of. I'm going to show you how this makes that process very easy. So We're Chris and we're in the system. We need to come in and we need to select our coach. As I scroll down through this page, there are going to be a number of coach profiles that are presented to me. Now, the coaches would have built this in advance. And what it does is it gives me a good insight into the coach's experience, their background, their style of coaching. And it gives me time to consider the right match for the needs that I have. Now, in the system, there's a couple of ways that we can progress this. We can schedule chemistry calls with them, and that's all self-contained in the platform. So if I decide that I like the look of Casey here as my coach, I can very simply click on the schedule button. It's going to bring up a scheduling dialog, and I can quite literally click on a day, click on a time, and confirm that. And it's as simple as that. The coachee can very easily browse through these options, ensure compatibility, and then choose the coach that they feel is the best fit for them. When using this, a lot of my clients have explained this as they go from driving the matching process to observing it. If there's anybody in your team that currently does all of this admin and facilitates the pairing of coach and coachee, this will make their lives so much easier because it's coachee driven. All the admin team are doing is observing the progress of it. This ensures that the coachees aren't just matched with any coach, but they're matched with the right coach, and nobody knows what they're looking for more so than the coachee that's about to go through the process. So what does it mean for your organization? Well, a couple of things. Firstly is you can control the matching process. You control which coaches are served up to the coachee, allowing for tailored and scalable solutions to the different types of programs that you run. Matching the right coachee and the right coach is very powerful, and I'm sure we all know that that can lead to more impactful and better results down the line. And I hear firsthand from all of my clients that this experience is more efficient for them, for their team, and it leads to a better experience for the coach and the coachee. So that's very much kind of step one in the process. Once the coachee has come in and they've selected their coach, in this case, we're going to confirm that we want to select Casey. This is going to take us through to the live engagement. I'm going to flick to a different tab now. And we're still in the same program. We're still in a career transition program. Coachee Chris here is the coachee from Bluebird, and Coach Casey is the coach here. When I say an engagement, I mean we're in the detail of a specific one-to-one coaching delivery between Casey and between Chris. I'm on the engagement details tab of the system. What does that do? That shows me a complete roadmap of my coaching engagement, all of the key milestones, all of my sessions, the upcoming items in the program, all in one place. Now, this is career transition as an example, but the admin and their team would have built this program out in advance, and you can run several on here concurrently. If you run career transition programs, maybe executive programs, maybe a diversity and inclusion coaching program as an example, all of that can be built, and that facilitates what this pairing is here. So we're in the system and we can see items that have been completed by virtue of the big tick. So the next thing coming down the pipe here is a coaching session. And I want to talk a little bit about scheduling, because I'm sure we've all been there where you're trying to schedule a call and emails need exchanging. You might send through a couple of slots. You might put a hold on your calendar, and it takes a little while to really land and settle on a time. This platform, I can do this in seconds. I can book a coaching session just in a few clicks. So I have a button here to schedule this session. I can click on this, and this is going to bring up the schedule for the coach, which is connected to the system. We're going to say, I'm looking for Thursday, the 26th. I'm looking for 11:30 a.m. Click on next, click on confirm. And it's as simple as that. That session is scheduled. That email goes out to the calendar of the coach and of the coachee, and it's in the diary. And you'll notice that the status here changes to scheduled. So what does that mean? That means there's no more back and forth between coach and coachee to find and settle on a time. None of that admin process is there. That's a real time saver for all of my clients that use the system. And then the second is it's very easy to see in this engagement what's been completed and what's been scheduled, what's upcoming. And this does also all roll up into reporting. So if you wanted to know how many sessions have been scheduled versus delivered in the last month across the business, these statuses, like completed and scheduled, make it possible for you to see that. Now, just imagine what that looks like trying to track on spreadsheets. I'm sure you can imagine how messy that could get. You may notice, more eagle-eyed among you may notice, on the location of this coaching session, we have coaching.com video. That references our built-in video conferencing system, which very commonly replaces a lot of the third-party tools that my clients use to deliver the coaching sessions to the coachees. Whether it's a chemistry call, like in the matching stage that we looked at, or whether it's a coaching session for a live engagement, coaching.com video can facilitate all of that. And I want to show you very quickly what that video call looks like. I'm going to flick now to a static image of coaching.com video, and this is what it looks like in the platform. We have our coach and we have our coachee that have connected, and we have a coaching tool console. So what does that mean? During this video call, and I love this feature, both of the participants can do things like update their goals in the system. They can schedule future sessions directly from this video call. They can make a note and log that against the system. They can click on engagement items, see what's coming up in the program. So everything that's on the screen here automatically integrates into the engagement. It saves time for both the coach and the coachee. And the big benefit for the coaches that I speak to is they don't have to say on a Zoom call, write down the changes they want to make to a goal, or write down when they want to schedule the next session, then open up the system and then do it. This is all self-contained and it all feeds right back to the engagement from there. So what does that mean? It means there's a need for less external tools. Everything can happen within the coaching.com system. And as you go through and change these, this updates in real time and it feeds back to the engagement. So both the coach and the coachee stay aligned on progress and stay on track with everything that they need to do. So that's the coaching.com video feature. The next thing I'd like to touch on, if I come back to my live engagement, is the goals tab. So this is where you're going to create and store the goals on the system that you want to log. You can create specific goals and you can create milestones and deadlines. I'll show you an example. Here, Chris's goal in this career transition program is quite simply identify and transition to a new career. What you can see here is a lot of the specific detail that goes into the delivery of this goal. And this is a big part of the ROI of the coaching journey for the coachee themselves. You can see we have a due date here. I have specific action items that me and my coach need to complete in order for the engagement to be classed as a success. And I can check these items off as complete. So maybe we've already created our action plan. I can click on that and you'll notice there's a milestone progress bar that changes up to 67 from 33. So it's very, very easy for the coach and the coachee to see the progress at any time and really stay on track with where they are. The last thing I'll mention is you can tag goals with what we call organizational themes. These themes will flow up into reporting, which I will show you shortly, that give you a great level of insight into the patterns that the coaches are going through and skills development needs across the organization. So as a summary, from the coachee's perspective, we've covered kind of a day in the life where he comes into the system, he selects his coach, very simply, he comes in, updates his goal, schedules a session here, and then carries on with the process. Now, this brings us very nicely into admin Aaron's view. And remember, Aaron is from Right Management, so you are going to see a change in color scheme here. Now, we're in as admin Aaron, and we're in the reporting section of the system. Everything that we've just covered flows up into this area. This is where my clients come in and they view the more macro level data, I guess, to inform their coaching strategy. Now, if you're data oriented like I am, then when you get stuck into this, you might find it makes you a very happy bunny. And there's a lot of reports that we can dive into. I'm going to show you two that my clients find the most valuable. The first is more of the quantitative data. This is an engagements report. What the engagements report does is it provides a comprehensive overview of the coaching activity across your organization. You can see the progress of all of your engagements in real time, and I'll give you an example of some of the things that I can see here. This is across the entire business. I can see a snapshot in time of engagements by status, how many are live, how many are in the matching stage, etc. And I can see trends over time for the number of active engagements I have in the system, the number of completed engagements I have in the system, as an example. These can be customized. For now, I'm just showing you the standard. So it's easier for me to come here and say, okay, well, we had a really big spike in the number of active engagements, and then we had a dip. So what's going on there? Maybe I need to dig into that and find out why there's not as much consistency as maybe there should be. It gives you that high-level insight into what you need to see. I'm sure the next question on some of your lips is going to, or rather at the tip of your fingers on the keyboard, is going to be, how do we get this information from the system? And you can export this information directly from the system, and you can schedule it to go out at a set cadence to other key stakeholders in the business. So imagine there's a scenario where you need to show two different sets of engagement report data to two different people. The platform absolutely facilitates that. And it's as simple as clicking on send and then having, and then choosing who you want it to go out to. And you can schedule that to recur as much as you need. So as I say, this is more the quantitative view. I'm going to switch now, and I'm going to show you the more qualitative view of the system via the themes report. So I mentioned that you have the option to tag goals with coaching themes. This is where that information flows to. And this is my personal favorite report in the system, because this is showing me the key themes or the key skills that are being focused on in coaching engagements. We have a count here of all of the top themes across the business, and it's showing me the themes that are most commonly tagged with goals. Now, you'll notice the top line is executive presence. I would tell you to please bear in mind that you can customize these themes. So whatever competencies it is you track internally, whatever frameworks you want to track in a goal theme, if you have a client that wants to focus on core competencies, or if they have a specific system that you want to track, you can create a theme library with your own custom tags here, and then you can show them that information. This I find really powerful, because it will show the client, or it will show your stakeholders, what key themes are people focusing on? What skills are they looking to develop? Where in our competency framework are they? That level of strategic insight is really powerful for my enterprise level and coaching provider clients, because they can see where in the coaching program their coaches are heading, and they can adjust their coaching strategy accordingly. So as a very quick summary, there's a lot more that I could dive into there, but reports will offer you a very detailed look at both the qualitative and the quantitative data of the coaching activity across your organization. You can adjust, you can refine your coaching strategy as you need, and you can very easily get this information from the system to keep them informed, to keep other stakeholders informed on progress. Now, imagine trying to do all of this without one central platform. The biggest benefits that my clients speak to when they use this is the amount of time they save, the amount of effort it reduces, and the amount of insights that it generates. If you don't have a single platform to do this, imagine how much of that could be lost just through the management process. Now, in this time frame, Ryan, I'm going to hand back to you very shortly, you're only seeing the very tip of the iceberg of what the system offers. In addition to the individual engagements, very, very soon, we're releasing a full group and team coaching functionality that lets you do everything that you just saw for large groups. So I am going to hand back with Ro. Thank you very much for your time. Please do connect with me on LinkedIn if you haven't already. I'd love to have a chat.
Well done, my friend. Thank you so much. I know that is not easy. And you just gave a little tip of the iceberg of what we do here every day at coaching.com. And as a reminder, there are 3 pillars in our coaching enablement platform. And what Joe just showed you was our coaching management software. But I want to highlight a couple things. Once, group coaching is coming in days. So please, if you have a group coaching practice, or if you want education around systemic team coaching or group coaching, please hit us up at coaching.com. I'm also going to share my screen here. I want to make note also that we are an agnostic player in the market. And what does that really mean? That means if you are like Peter, who is managing a stable of internal and external coaches, we can be one central hub. Or if you are Michelle and you are a coach and you are managing your own book of business, or if you're like our customer Salesforce and Grace, who's managing over 100 internal coaches, we are built to be that operating system no matter where the coaches are coming from, internal, 1099, what have you. Now, the voice of the customer is very important to us. And I want to make sure that we take a moment to hear from our client, Holt. Joe manages Holt. This is a testimonial that recently we received from Rivers. Thank you, Rivers. And everyone can read this, but I want to highlight the bold. Everything is logged in one place, making it accessible and convenient. And it's very important that we understand it's about managing and engaging more effectively. That is the value of what we bring. Remember that picture with juggling all those balls? Well, we make sure that all those balls don't get dropped, and you can focus on the human side, the development side, the coaching, and not the management. So now let me put forth a couple of other things here, food for thought. Before we turn it over to questions, and I'm not sure if there were many questions out there. I know Kristen's been, thank you, Kristen, keeping up to date on the questions. I do want to make note of that we are incredibly appreciative of your time. And we also are thoughtful that you're trying to do something with your coaching practice. You're trying to elevate it. We want to make sure that you have an opportunity to engage with us. And we've put forth a blue sky blueprint session. And this is really an opportunity to roll up your sleeves with a member of the coaching.com consulting or executive team to really share with us your coaching vision, to share with us where you are today, because we want to help you conceptually sharpen that vision. We will weave in things that we know to be true in the industry. We'll weave in things that we've learned from thought leaders we work with. Remember, our Center of Excellence does programming throughout the year with the biggest and best minds in the coaching world, as well as how we've seen other organizations overcome the challenges you have. And at the end of that 45-minute session, what we're going to do is we'll give you a one-page strategy document. And that document is going to help you with a go-forward plan as you continue to elevate coaching in your organization. Now, I see Joe on the screen. I know Kristen's out there. I'm hoping my screen is being shared right now. Joe, thumbs up. Are you seeing my screen? Awesome. So if I could ask everyone to please just scan the QR code, that'll bring you over to our site where you're able, or you can just type in coaching.com/ATD and you can sign up for this blue sky session. Now, I'm going to put up our LinkedIn again, but I also want to make sure that we go for questions. So here's our LinkedIn right here. Let me open up the chat. Kristen, are you out there, my friend? You want to read some of the chat?
I am. Can you hear me?
I can. Hi, nice to see you. All right, Kristen.
We had a lot of questions come to me directly, so we'll get through as many as we can. Jess is asking, is it easy to customize the tool in the organization's branding or the organization's branding in the tool? Joe?
Yes. Joe, you want to answer all that, please?
Yes, absolutely it is. So it's a case of kind of choosing hex codes, changing logos. It's a very simple process. It's not something that needs specific training. It's as simple as a few clicks and you can have your own colors, your own logos in the system. Very, very simple to do.
And we even take it down to vanity URLs and making sure that your brand is top of mind of every client when we engage on your behalf. Go ahead, Kristen. What else is out there, my friend?
Yes, we had questions around themes. So how does this work? Are they developed by the organization or by the coaching.com platform?
Oh, Kristen, I'm going to let you answer that, or Joe, because I know that that's part of the configuration that you manage with your implementation in your team, and Joe's a member of your team. So why don't you take that one?
Yeah, amazing. So what happens is that we get to know the themes that you're most interested in helping your coachees achieve. And then we help you to create a theme library that you tie into each engagement template. And the very cool thing is that these templates can be customized directly for each of your clients. And even if they have multiple programs, you can do different types of theme libraries within them to make sure everybody's working on the competencies that are most important to your organization. And I have to say, this is like one of the coolest things Joe mentioned for our clients, because they absolutely love being able to see what is the hot topic, what is everybody working on. And from that information, they can be more strategic with their coaching offerings. So that's one of my favorite parts of the platform, I have to say. Ro, we also had a question that came in earlier from Maxine. She said, you mentioned that coaching.com offers development programs for coaches. Do you also have programs for managers and leaders?
Yes and yes. And what I would recommend is please reach out to me via LinkedIn and I will make sure to follow up with you. But we have some programs that are varying from master classes on, for instance, I participated in one just last week, navigating transitions. And then we have different levels of programs, and based upon, your level and how you are developing as a coach or as a manager, you may want to continue the education in essentials level, then maybe a practitioner level, and then a level 3. So we have varying degrees of programs, both for HR, for managers, and for coaches. I like to think of it as elevating coaching and elevating your coaching skill. Let's face it, all of us are in the business of coaching. All of us are. And that is why I love coaching.com so much, because we can serve so many people, whether it's through technology or through our programs or through our Center of Excellence, which is the ongoing membership for you to continually be able to access amazing thought leaders and collaborate with other coaches. So that is it. We nailed the landing. My team, I am so happy. We want to end on a positive note. The positive note is going to be a big old thank you. I want to say thank you on behalf of all of the employees around the world at coaching.com. I want to thank ATD, my colleagues, Joe and Kristen, who are across the pond today. Thank you. Jess and Joy, or Regina, I should say, pardon me. Take it away, and we thank you. And I do hope everyone takes a moment to reach out to us. Please visit our website. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Rosette and Joe and Kristen. And thank you to coaching.com for today's demo. This was fantastic. Please make sure to grab links and resources from the chat. And that concludes this demo. And we're going to take a short break, and we will see you back at 2:15.